another exciting episode of BioLogic Science News. Today I want to talk about a really fascinating discovery made by entomologist Guillermo Ferreira when he was associated with Keele University in Germany. Since his discovery, he's traveled across the Atlantic to Brazil, where he works at the Federal University of San Carlos, and continues to study the species involved in his discovery, the iridescent blue dragonfly called Zenithoptera linnea. This particular species of dragonfly is native to South America, where it belongs to a family with 4 other species. Now, most dragonflies, and most insects really, have wing tissue that's composed of dead, empty cells. When insects are young, their wing tissue is alive. It's growing, expanding, it's stretching out to reach the full length of a mature wing. The living tissue is vascularized, so that its growth can be sustained with nutrients and oxygen. But when the insect matures and the wing reaches full size, many of the cells in the wing begin to die, deflating as the liquid within them dries up and the cells crumple together in a thin, layered sheet. This sheet is composed of layers of dead cells, stretched between the architecture of the veins that once fed the wing with nutrients. In mature insects, the veins are still alive, and they still transport nutrients and oxygen. More than that, the veins are innervated and permeated with respiratory structures. But the rest of the wing is pretty much dead. The cells are dried out and empty. So what's the point? What's the deal with this Zenithoptera linnea dragonfly? It turns out that this blue-winged insect has living tissue in its wings, stacked in layers, each composed of organic crystals. The outermost layer is composed of crystals that Guillermo Ferreira called little leaves. The next 2 layers are composed of wax crystals, and the innermost layers are composed of nanoscale spheroids held between thin sheets of pigment. The neat thing is that all of these crystal layers in the dragonfly's wings are transparent. The dark colors like black and brown come from pigment, but the bright, vibrant, almost iridescent blue that characterizes the species' wings comes from light being bounced around the transparent crystal matrices inside of the wing itself. Light reflects off the edges and faces of the crystals and gets refracted, with the pigments absorbing some of the light wave frequencies. This combination of light-absorbing pigments and crystal refraction creates a rare phenomenon in nature: blue light, leading to blue tissue, and in this case, an iridescent blue dragonfly. Most surprisingly, within these layers of crystals that compose the wing, there's a living network of respiratory channels that permeates the wing. This means the dragonfly's wings are potentially a kind of breathing device, like 4 giant external lungs. This breathing tissue is built into the wings, giving it both its unique color and a unique physiology. In fact, no other insect is known to have such complex and sophisticated respiratory structures inside of its wings. For that matter, few other insects are blue, as blue is one color that nature finds really difficult to create. It's really rare in nature. There aren't really any blue pigments. Most birds that are blue only because the crystals in their feathers reflect light in such a way as to reflect blue wavelengths. This kind of novelty and rarity in the animal kingdom makes Guillermo Ferreira's discovery all that more impressive, and it could potentially point to a new evolutionary avenue that these dragonflies are diverging down.